Hi, so far we have discussed about fundamental circuits and fundamental cut sets. Now we'll discuss an interesting relation between these two things. Okay, so before we proceed, let us recall what do you mean by fundamental circuits and fundamental cut sets. Okay, so as you know, both the fundamental cut sets and fundamental circuits are discussed with respect to a particular spanning tree. Okay, so suppose you have a graph G, okay, connected graph G, and suppose T is a spanning tree of G. For example, if I'm drawing like graph like this, suppose this is your graph, and the spanning tree is basically a subgraph of that which connects all the vertices of the graph. So this is spanning tree. Okay, now what's a fundamental circuit? A fundamental circuit is actually a circuit obtained by adding a chord to the spanning tree. So you know what do you mean by chords and branches? So branches are actually the edges of the given tree, and those edges which are not part of the spanning tree are called chords. Okay, so the fundamental circuit is a circuit which is obtained by adding a chord to the spanning tree. So suppose if I am drawing this one, you will get a fundamental circuit like this. Okay, so that is what you mean by fundamental circuits. And similarly, what do you mean by fundamental cut set? A fundamental circuit or a cut set in a similar note is basically also defined with respect to a spanning tree, but it is actually a cut set which contains exactly one branch of the spanning tree. Okay, so a cut set of this graph which contains exactly one branch of the spanning tree. For example, if you look at this graph, so if I take a cut set like this, so it is cutting, if you are removing this edge, and this edge and this edge, you can see that cut set contains exactly one branch of the spanning tree. So such a cut set is called a fundamental cut set. So I hope it is clear what do you mean by fundamental circuits and fundamental cut set. So fundamental cut set circuits contain exactly one chord, and similarly a fundamental cut set will contain exactly one branch of a spanning tree. Okay, so both of them are discussed with respect to a corresponding spanning tree. Okay, so I hope it is clear. Okay, and also we will recall some theorems which we have discussed earlier, but let us recall some theorems which we have discussed earlier with respect to this fundamental circuits and fundamental cut sets. One theorem was that you know that every cut set should contain at least one branch in common with the spanning tree. Every cut set should contain at least one branch in common with the spanning tree. It's very obvious, right? Because if it does not contain at least one branch of any spanning tree, that means that the graph would still be connected. All the vertices would still be connected, and hence it cannot be a cut set. So every cut set would contain at least one branch in common with a spanning tree. That is one result which I have studied earlier. And also we have also discussed that every circuit contains an even number of edges in common with a spanning tree. Every circuit contains an even number of edges in common with a cut set. This also we have discussed in previous sessions. Okay, so two theorems. Every circuit has an even number of edges in common with any cut set, and also one more thing, every cut set should have at least one branch in common with any spanning tree. So we will be using these two theorems to discuss the results which we are going to do in this session. So these are two theorems which we have already proved in the previous sessions. Okay, now let us come to the main theorem. So very simple thing. Basically just using these concepts to derive that theorem. So this is the statement. Please go through the statement. That means suppose we have a graph with respect to a given spanning tree. Okay, suppose you have a graph like this. Okay, and this is your spanning tree. Okay, so a chord Ci that determines the fundamental circuits. Okay, so this is the chord C. Suppose this is a chord here. Okay, so a chord Ci which determines a fundamental circuits occur in every fundamental cut set associated with the branches in that circuit and no other. Okay, so a chord which occurs in a fundamental circuit, okay, will occur in every fundamental cut set associated with the branches in gamma and no other. So basically you are discussing about a connection between fundamental circuit and fundamental cut sets here. So you are going to discuss the connection between fundamental circuits and fundamental cut set here. Okay, so what does it mean? Actually in a fundamental circuit you can see that there's one code is happening. This code is existing there. So exactly one code is there. Okay, and now if you look at a cut set. Okay, so if you are going to look at a fundamental cut set, a fundamental cut set will contain exactly one branch, okay, of a spanning tree. Okay, so the theorem here states this that suppose we are taking a fundamental circuit here. For example, I am taking a fundamental circuit containing a chord Ci and some branches B1, B2, etc. some Bn. Okay, so this is my fundamental circuit here. Okay, what the theorem means is that now if you are taking a fundamental cut set with respect to these branches, suppose I am taking a branch here, suppose Bi, a branch Bi which is in this thing. So if you are taking a fundamental cut set which is associated with this branch Bi, that cut set will contain exactly one branch of the spanning tree. So it will have some other codes like C1, C2, etc. Some CK would be there. Okay, so what theorem states is that this code CI, which was there in the fundamental circuit along with this BI, would be present here. Okay, that is a code CI occurs in every fundamental cut set associated with the branches in gamma. Okay, so this code would occur in every fundamental circuit created by the branches of this. So if you are taking a fundamental circuit of fundamental cut set of this branch BI, which is like this, in that also the CI would be present. If I am going to take a fundamental cut set of containing B1, in that also this code CI would be there. If I am going to take a fundamental cut set associated with B2, in that also this code CI would be there. So that is the statement theorem. And it's an extreme statement. It also says that this code will not occur in any other cut set. That is why it is said no other. Okay, so this code will not occur in any other fundamental cut set. Only in these fundamental cut sets which are created by the branches of the spanning tree would this code occur. So this is the statement. So if you just think geometrically, graphically, you will understand the meaning of, try to understand the meaning of the statement first. Okay, now let us proceed. How to prove it? Okay, so we'll start with the fundamental circuit. So first of all, we are taking a spanning tree T of a conductor graph G. Okay, and I am going to take a fundamental circuit gamma. So maybe I'll call it as, so this gamma is equal to Ci. So Ci, then maybe I'll take B1, B2, etc. So we'll take so B1, B2, etc. Bk. So this is the fundamental circuit. Okay, so the Ci is the code here. Okay, now what will you do? Now we are going to take the fundamental cut set determined by this B1. Okay, so we'll take the fundamental cut set, for example, maybe S, I'll call it as S. So it may contain some codes like C1, C2, etc. and maybe Cn is there. So we're going to take the fundamental cut set associated with this B1. Okay, so now recall the earlier theorems which I have already discussed. We have studied that every circuit would contain an even number of edges in common with the cut set. Every circuit would contain an even number of edges in common with the cut set. Okay, so this fundamental circuit should contain an even number of edges in common with this cut set, right? Okay, already there is one edge here called B1 in this. So already one edge B1 is there in this cut set. Okay, so since it should contain even number, it should also contain another edge. So what is the possibility which can come in here? Okay, so we can see that if you look at this cut set, this cut set contains only one branch and all others are codes. So this cut set contains only one branch and all others are codes here. But this fundamental circuit contains one code and all other are branches here. Okay, now this fundamental cut set cannot contain any other branch. Already B1 is there, so it's a fundamental cut set, and a fundamental cut set will contain only exactly one branch. So no more BIs can happen in this S. But we should also have an even number of edges in common. So what is the only other probability? The only other possibility is that this Ci should also be present here. Okay, so why is it so? Because of the result that there should be an even number of edges in common with any fundamental cuts. So a circuit will always contain an even number of edges in common with a cut set. So that is the idea. So already we have one, since this is a fundamental cut set, already we have exactly one branch, which is this B1, and since it should contain even number of edges, the Ci also should be present. Okay, so very simple thing. Similarly, for any B2 also this result would apply. So suppose you are going to take another cut set, maybe I call it S set, S2 with respect to B2. It will contain B2 and some other codes, maybe C3, C4, etc. Okay, so there also this Ci should be present because the circuit should have an even number of edges in common with any cut set, and therefore already exactly one branch is there. No more branches can happen, so only this possibility is there. So we can say that this fundamental circuit will occur in every fundamental cut set associated with the branches in the given fundamental circuit. Okay, so if you are taking a fundamental circuit containing exactly one code, this code would be present in all the fundamental cut sets generated by the branches of that fundamental circuit. So we will see some example, but it's very simple thing. Okay, and now moving forward, we should also prove that this will not occur in any other fundamental cut. We should also prove that this Ci will not occur in any other cut set. So we should also show that this Ci, which we discussed here, it will not occur in any other fundamental cut set. Okay, so suppose it occurs in some other fundamental cut set. What will be the problem there? Suppose it occurs in some other fundamental cut set. Maybe I'm taking as S here. Okay, so this S will contain this Ci and it will contain exactly one branch. So suppose I'm taking a branch which is distinct from this. I'm taking a branch called BL which is not in this one. Okay, so and it will contain other codes also. So it may contain C1, C2, etc. Cn. So suppose there exists a fundamental cut set which contains Ci and which does not contain this B1, B2, etc. Bk, say BL. I'm calling it BL. Okay. So what will happen if I take a cut set like this? Is such a cut set possible? It is not possible because always a cut set should have even number of edges in common with a circuit. Okay. So suppose you are considering this circuit, already Ci is present. Okay, and there should also be one more edge in common, but this b1 b2 etc bk are not present here. That is our assumption. So these branches will not be present, and also these are codes, so obviously codes cannot also be present here. Okay, so there will be only one edge in common with this fundamental circuit and this fundamental cut set. Okay, no other. So there cannot be an even number of branches in even number of edges in common. Why is it so? Because already Ci is there, and because of the virtue of our construction, this none of the branches can happen in this fundamental cut set, and similarly none of the codes can also be part of this fundamental circuit, and hence we can say that there is only one edge in common, and therefore such a cut set cannot exist. Okay, this is because of the result that there should be an even number of edges in common with a fundamental circuit. Okay, there should be an even number of edges in common with a circuit with that concepts. Because of that result that this is happening here. Okay, so it's very logically done. So I hope this is clear. It's just go through this theorem, try to do a diagram and try to understand it. And now we'll see by means of example what do we mean by this statement here. So this is the entire thing. Okay, so now look at this graph here. So let us try to understand this theorem. So suppose I am going to take this F here. So F is a code. I am going to look at the fundamental circuit created by this F. So what is the fundamental circuit created by this F in this graph? You can see that. So you can see this is a spanning tree. The darkened line is the spanning tree. And let us look at this fundamental circuit here. So the fundamental circuit created by F is there. Okay, similarly E is there, H is there, K is there. So F, E, H, K. So this is the fundamental circuit. Okay, so here F is the code and E, H, K are actually the branches. Now look at the fundamental cut set associated with the C. It is marked in dotted lines. So the fundamental cut set associated with E is actually D, E and F, and it contains F. Okay, obviously. And look at the fundamental cut set associated with H, which is H, G, F. It also will contain this F. And again look at the fundamental cut set associated with K, that is simply K comma F, which also contains F. So you can see that F occurs in all the fundamental cut sets associated with these branches E, H and K. Okay, so that is what the theorem states. Okay, similarly, analogously, there is also one more result which I think you can state and you can also prove it. That is, suppose I am starting with a fundamental cut set, it will contain a branch. Okay, then that branch would be present in all the fundamental circuits created by the other codes. Okay, so now in this theorem we had taken a fundamental circuit first, and now we decide the result for the fundamental cut sets. Okay, similarly now I am going to take a fundamental cut set. First of all, a fundamental cut set would contain a branch Bi and some codes. Okay, so the next theorem states that this branch Bi would be present in all the fundamental circuits created by this CIs and in no others. Just like this thing itself, it's a similar argument. Try to do it yourself. So you can see that. So with respect to a branch Bi that determines a fundamental cut set is contained in every fundamental circuit associated with the codes in S and no others. This is the argument similar to what we have done earlier. So you can do it yourself. Okay, so please try to do it yourself. The same argument, really nothing new is there. The main thing we are using is that the circuit always contains an even number of edges in common with a cut set. So that is the idea which you are going to use here. And you can also see an illustration here. Suppose I am going to look at the fundamental cut set created by the C. So what is the fundamental cut set created by the C? It is nothing but E, D and F. Okay, and look at the fundamental circuit created by D. What is the fundamental circuit created by D? It is nothing. So you can see that this is a graph is there, and the bold lines will create a spanning tree. And what is fundamental circuit created by this D? That is nothing but D, C and E, it contains E. And what is the fundamental circuit created by this F? Again it is E, H, K and F. So fundamental circuit would only contain one code, don't mistake it for E, G, F. So here the fundamental circuit is E, H, K, the branches plus this F. It also contains this E. Okay, so it's a similar argument. So that's it. Okay, thank you.